Welcome to HoodChampionBoxing.com. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Feels so bad for Hrgovic and Demetrius Andrade. Two guys, two different divisions, with just no luck on getting the big fights. And for Hrgovic, he's an outstanding heavyweight. And he was supposed to be part, in my opinion, of the most intriguing boxing match, probably of the heavyweights, and I'd say for this year, because he was supposed to be fighting Zhang Zhilai, big heavyweight from China, for an IBF eliminator on the Canelo undercard, right? And Zhang is a super tricky southpaw. Has some stamina issues. A lot of experts felt early rounds, if Hrgovic can get through, let's say those first 4 to 6 rounds, it could be all downhill for Zhang, because Zhang has shown us a couple fights ago that he has serious stamina issues. And it's almost like his mind, there was like an explosion. And as a result, his body functions just lost control, and his stamina went. And it showed, because how he was able to get through that fight, I have no idea. So a lot of people are giving Hrgovic a very good chance to win that fight against Zhang. And the thing about Hrgovic is he just couldn't land a big fight with any heavyweights. Nobody wanted to fight him. Nobody. You know, Luis Ortiz turned it down. Other fighters just wouldn't even want to speak his name. There was another big-time American heavyweight, not Brian Jennings, but anyway, I'm seeing his face, I can't call his name. He basically was saying that, you know, Hrgovic is not a real name. You know, the excuses that people come up with. The problem, the real truth is Hrgovic is a monster. And he was working for this fight against Zhang to not fight dirty, because he gets known for hitting behind the head and stuff like that, but to actually work on speed, and for him to set traps as well, because they know what they're up against Zhang, who's a silver medalist in the Olympics. He actually lost to Anthony Joshua. Zhang is 38, he's up there in age, but Zhang is a crafty southpaw. So now the fight's off. Hrgovic's dad passed away, and you know he has to go and deal with that. So now what we're looking at is possibly with to get a replacement immediately for Zhang. They're looking to do that. So Zhang and somebody else will fight for the IBF eliminator. If they can't do that, Zhang will go on and fight somebody. It won't be an eliminator. And then they'll try to sort out what they're doing with Luis Ortiz and Andy Ruiz to try to figure out if they're going to make that the IBF eliminator or whatever. So not sure what direction they're going to go. There's different discussions going on right now. But very sad what's going on with Hrgovic. Worked so hard to get into this position. Hard for this man to get a fight. Finally got a fight. And the thing is, Zhang he's like ranked number 13 in the IBF. And he's the only one who didn't mind getting in there and fighting Hrgovic. Nobody else wanted to fight him because of the risk they're taking of getting in there with him. Zhang didn't care. So that's the deal with Hrgovic. He lost his dad. Sorry to hear that. And lost his opportunity to get in there and fight for this eliminator. And the winner of this fight is supposed to be aligned for a shot at the winner of Usyk and AJ. But there's so many belts, so there's going to be so many mandatory. So who knows when the dust settles who's going to be in position for that fight. And Demetrius "Boo Boo" Andrade, he was set to debut at 168 pounds for the interim super middleweight title bout against Parker. Now, you guys probably know about Boo Boo Andrade more than you know about Hrgovic. Andrade is jumping up a weight division, trying to find opportunities to keep raising his profile and getting those signature fights, those defining fights, because nobody wants to fight him. The man had a belt and everything at 160. Nobody wanted to fight him. Say he's boring. Say he doesn't bring any money to the table. He's a very skillful boxer. He's even changed his style up. The way he comes out the first like 6 rounds, he's definitely on that front foot and he's trying to get guys out of there. And you can see when he does that, he has the ability to hurt guys and stop guys, but he definitely has the ability to hurt them. And it still wasn't enough to get him to fights, the big fights that he wants. So now he jumps up, super middleweight. Just Parker isn't the guy he wanted, but just to go and fight somebody, see how he feels, and then after that start calling out big names. But unfortunately for him, similar situation as Hrgovic, can't get the big fights. Now Andrade has an injury in his shoulder, has to go for an MRI, to determine the severity of the injury, and then see when they're actually gonna fight. The upside to, if there is an upside for Demetrius Andrade, his fight's not off, it's just being postponed to a later date. So he'll still be heading over to the United Kingdom to fight Parker. So good for Demetrius Andrade. But when you look at fighters, really good fighters who just can't get the breaks they want because people duck them. Flip Hrgovic is one of those guys in the heavyweight division. He just needs an opportunity for a breakout fight, and he's on his way. And Zhang Jalil is another one. I like him, man. Crafty southpaw. Got to work in that stamina, but I still pick him to clip a lot of heavyweights in those early rounds because he can box. But would have been nice to see the two of them get busy for the IBF eliminator and see who would have been standing at the end of the fight. I think majority think Flip because of just Jalil's stamina issues, but I like the puncher. They're both punchers, man. But I'm giving the edge to Zhang. I would have given the edge to Zhang because I like the knockouts. But it's not going to happen now. So unfortunate for these guys, man. Sad to see when these boxers can't get the fights they want. Andrade injured, waited so long to finally get back in position for a fight. Now it's postponed. Hrgovic waiting so long to get someone who would fight him. Nobody wants to fight him. Finally get someone to step up who's a worthy opponent. And then, things beyond his control with his father. So it definitely has to go and take care of that. But, more to come on these guys. Hopefully we can see Hrgovic back in the ring soon after he, deals with the affairs with his family. But he can't leave his mind behind. That's some real stuff he's going through, man. So hopefully he can get things together so we can see him back in the ring definitely before the next 90, 120 days. If he can find an opponent, that's going to be his problem. So anyway, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. That's the latest and greatest on these two outstanding fighters. Shout out to all the veterans. Appreciate the support, and I'm in the breeze.